Hi, everyone. My name is Shelley Broils. I'm the founder of Broils Consulting Group, former classroom teacher and school administrator that transitioned to a pretty impressive career beyond the school system, working as an employee and a consultant for various children's toy companies, um, education companies, ed tech firms, to also serving as an advisor for various Wall Street firms. The last time we spoke, I did a short video about some of the questions that we get from educators that get stuck in their transition. One of the services that we provide is assisting educators retiring and separating administrators and teachers with successfully transitioning to higher level careers and at faster rates. And one of the most popular questions that we get is, why are educators getting stuck in this career transition process? Um, and why are they only transitioning to some of the careers that you see here? So in our last video, I gave an overview of some of the 6 key steps to a successful career transition. And there are 6 key steps. Watch this as often as you want, take as many notes as you choose. But although we have these transferable skills that I spoke about, there are 6 key steps that a number of us are not implementing, which impedes our ability to transition at faster rates and at higher levels to some of the careers that you see listed here, which is a short list. My company and myself, we've done some research over the past several years, compiling a list of careers that are a great fit for educators beyond those few that you've seen here, as well as a number of companies that recruit K-12 educators. There are thousands of opportunities every single week. Case in point, there's a leading education nonprofit organization that was founded by a leading ed tech mogul that is seeking 2 program officers, which is sort of like a program manager that assists with there's a program that they're rolling out, or an initiative that they're rolling out, that's focusing on global education, and another one that's focusing on early learning experiences. They're seeking someone that has a master's in education or education policy, so on and so forth, with 7 years of experience, which is a great fit for a number of educators. I'm not promoting any particular company, but this company is recruiting now. They posted those roles this week. A number of educators aren't familiar with where to find them. And so, although we have those skill sets, as I mentioned before, just to unpack this further and set the stage for those that didn't see my last video, we get stuck because 60% of job openings are not listed. It's called the unadvertised or hidden job market, right? And then a number of our resumes are rejected because they're not aligned with private industry standards, so on and so forth. So these are some things that I covered in my last video. If you did not see that, then go back and watch that. But I'll set the stage for the next step, right? Just to give you something to work from. But the reason is we have a gap in our CTR skills, career transition readiness skills, and we get stuck or relegated to those few positions that we saw that's there. This is an example of educators that, although they're qualified, did not utilize that CTR framework. And that happens to a number of us. That happened to me when I initially transitioned, to educators that did. And then you see where they transitioned, right? Although they're equally qualified, but these educators here weren't aware of them. There's a limited amount of resources that are available to educators to assist us with transitioning. But as mentioned, those are those 6 key steps. Today, I want to spend some time unpacking a few of those steps, right? These steps were instrumental in my transitioning to high-level careers beyond the school system, which you see here is just a short list of some of the careers to which I transitioned, which was also instrumental in my launching my own company. as well. So after working as an employee and working as a consultant for various private industry firms, I launched my own company to assist educators as well as to assist. You see that there. I'll let you take a moment and read that. But that's what we do with the skills and experience that I initially gained in the school system, right? I was able to use those skills as well to change my career trajectory and then launch my own firm. This is what we focus on. But because of those things, my company now is ranked as one of the top 25 in the world. So we have the skills and ability, ladies and gentlemen. It's just a matter of utilizing those 6 key phases to transition at higher levels. That's why a number of us get stuck. And that's why sometimes we're confused about how our skills translate or transfer. And so when we search on our own without that CTR framework, we get stuck. Then we get discouraged and we give up, right? Let me unpack a few of those, or at least one of those stages. We talked about stage 1, but let me talk about stage 2 and how you can master that and experience the same success that you see these educators that experience. This educator came to us highly talented, but wasn't familiar with the private industry job market or industries outside of the school system and how to successfully transition. Search for 2 years. Once she was given, or we filled in those CTR gaps, she was off to the races, right? These are other educators that successfully transitioned, which you see here. One was a instructional technology resource teacher, the other a school administrator and then former instructional coach. Both of these educators wanted to remain in the education field, but outside of the school system. There are other educators with which we've worked or with whom we've worked that have transitioned away from K-12 careers or careers that emphasize working in the K-12 arena. But we specialize in careers beyond education, careers beyond the school system, as well as education consulting within school systems as well. These are other educators from ages 22 to 68. Some transition to private industry education careers, others beyond the education careers that didn't relate to K-12. Are you with me? Okay, so let's talk about those 6 key steps. Last time we spoke, I gave you an overview of each of those key steps. Today, I want to talk to you about this phase here, finding your fit, careers that align with your skill set, and how to leverage your skills and talents to reach those higher levels and to transition at faster rates. You with me? Of course, again, it's not required, right? But if you want to transition at higher levels and faster rates, this framework has been effective in helping educators leverage their skills, as well as, right, there's a higher probability of gaining the interviews. So knowing when and where to apply can increase your interview rate by up to 80%. So first, let's talk about finding your fit. When we talk about finding your fit, we're talking about careers that align with your interest, your skill set, as well as, and there's not a one size fits all. Currently, there are a couple careers out there that are extremely popular. However, there's a steep learning curve for one of them. I can't mention the name of the career. So we need to dive deeper and to begin to analyze our skill set. So taking inventory of your skills initially, right? We're going to talk about these first 6. So first, take a moment and brainstorm your skill set. Go back the last 10 to 15 years. So brainstorm your skills and experience. You with me? Once you do that, you want to begin to filter or categorize your skills. So skills that you want to take with you into your next career and skills that you prefer to leave behind. I enjoyed working in the school system, facilitation, training, so on and so forth. Instructional leadership, enjoyed parent engagement, leading cadres. I was not a fan of lesson plans and creating those curricular units. Some people enjoy that. So you want step one, take a moment and brainstorm your key skills, then filter them. Those I want to take with me into my next career, those I'd prefer to leave behind. Next, determine your work settings. So do you want to work remotely, on site, a hybrid approach? Is that your interest? Also, for your next career, do you want it to involve travel? If so, is it local travel, national travel, regional travel, international travel? And what percentage? 10%, 20%, 50%? It makes a huge difference. So you want to unpack those and determine your preferred work setting. I made a mistake one time and aligned myself with a career that had 90% travel. And I thought, well, that's wonderful. I can travel, from city to city, state to state, so on and so forth. It was leaving my house on a Sunday evening, returning on a Friday. Are you with me? And that cycle happened over and over and over again. That wasn't a fit for me because I had obligations at home as well. It was nice, had an expense account and all of those things, but that was too much travel. So you want to begin to determine what's your preferred workplace setting. You with me? Next, what's your preferred classification? Do you want to work as an employee, full-time, part-time, freelance consultant, independent contractor, or are you looking to launch your own education consulting firm? And be cognizant of what it takes to launch your education consulting firm. I don't provide business services in terms of how to launch your education consulting firm, but there's a lot involved in running a business. As mentioned, I didn't jump straight from the school system to launching my own education consulting firm. I worked as an employee and a consultant. Are you with me? For various companies before I launched my firm, which set me up for greater success. So those are things to think about. Next, you want to research the private industry job market, right? To begin analyzing careers that may be a fit for your skill set and your interest. Analyzing multiple industries. Do you recall when I showed you that list of various industries that are a great fit for educators? When I spoke about the One Education Foundation was hiring educators, you'll notice that there are multiple industries. So with each career, it may vary based on the industry in which you work. You with me? Also, that career excuse me, may even look different based on the company. Case in point, let's talk about that career and curriculum implementation manager that works within education, private industry companies. So when we think about that role, it's going to even vary from company per company. With a SIM, a curriculum implementation manager, oftentimes you're involved in, excuse me, assisting schools with implementing a company's product or service with fidelity, right? Assisting the school with aligning that product or service with their SIP, their school improvement plan, right? To get a high return on their investment and their usage. So with some companies, the breakout of the role or the percentage of the role, let's say 50% of your role may be involved with training and educating administrators and district level officials on how to implement that product or service within their school setting, and then assisting them with cross-training their staff, monitoring the health of the implementation. Are you with me? However, there are other companies that the same role, a large breakout of your role may be involved in monitoring usage goals could be a greater percentage. And so you may be responsible for increasing the usage goals of the staff as well as the students, right? So depending on the company, the breakout of the role could vary. That's why it's essential that you begin to research the private industry job market and then begin to research careers in which you have an interest. From step one, look at those skills, right? How do your skills align with that role? Are there any gaps in your skill set that you need to fill? A number of those roles that you saw, when I mentioned we had compiled a list of 60, a number of those roles are a fit for multiple educators, but there's not a one career fits all. So to begin with finding your fit, first take inventory of your skills, filter those skills. What do you want to take with you? What do you want to leave behind? Determine your preferred work environment. You with me? Your classification, begin to research industries, research careers. How do your skills align with those careers? My next video, I'll come back and we'll begin to talk about the second half. We'll talk about filtering or researching companies, determining if an industry is the right fit, what companies are a right fit, the right organizational fit for you. Are you with me? And if you're needing additional guidance, we're expanding our network of career transition specialists. But next time we come together, we're going to look at finding your career fit and your industry fit. What I've given you is an overview. I've given you enough to get you started. There's a little more involved in this process, but this is enough to get you started, right? So that you don't get stuck again. You don't get discouraged and give up. You with me? So we'll talk about that next time. Okay. So follow us on Facebook and LinkedIn beginning Saturday, January 28th, and I will see you all very soon. Take good care. Also know that you have the skill set right now that can be transferred to multiple careers. So you don't have to settle for less. All right. Take care, everyone.